How's it going, traders? This is a recap for the last 2 weeks of trading where I made $1,439. Let's get into it. Alright folks, now before we get started, I want to note that I'm just a normal guy with a 9-to-5 job, a family, little kids running around. So if you like these videos, I would really appreciate a subscribe. It means a lot to me. And if you're so inclined, please leave a like on this video. Thank you so much. Alright, let's get into it. Alrighty, now before we get into my trades, let's take a quick look at the market and see how this nutty thing has been doing. We've almost done a complete V retracement here. And you can see we're still pushing. Now obviously, I think everyone would agree we're going to test highs in some form. And the question is, will it reject and come down hard? Will it reject and go through? Or will it just push through like a bat out of hell? We will have to see. So time will tell. Okay, let's take a look at what I traded the past couple weeks. I put it all in a tabular form for you so it'd be easier to digest. So it's going to be Chewy, C, Microsoft, AMD, and Etsy. So to give you a brief run through, Chewy sold puts, made 235. C sold puts, made 316. Microsoft sold put, made 195. AMD sold some puts, made 171. And Etsy, I sold some puts and some calls. So basically did strangles, what you would call it. So it basically is like a window or a zone around the price. And this was right before earnings, so premiums were juicy. And I could have actually got a lot closer in hindsight and made maybe twice as much money, but hey, it's okay. I made a quick like over $500 on that trade. So when you sum up the last 2 weeks, I made just under $1,500 there, as you can see the total there. You should factor in too, I am rolling still one trade, which is MU, so when that comes in, that'll be a little more for the week that I finally close it, but I've had to roll it twice. I'm not happy with MU. Alright, let's talk about Chewy. Okay, so what I've done here is I've drawn vertical lines wherever I got into the trade, rolled, and closed. Okay, so the first one here on the 21st is where I opened the trade. I sold the 46.5 puts. Okay, let me draw a line here. So this was my strike price. Now you can see I opened it here and it came down, and it's coming down pretty good. So I decided to roll and play it safe, manage the position. So I collected 2 cents for doing that, and over here I collected 46 cents. Okay, so this is a total of 48 cents. So I lost no money to manage it, and also I rolled it down to the 44. Let me draw another line here. I rolled it down to the 44.5 strike. I could have not rolled it down as far, but I decided to be really safe on this one and roll it down as far as I could and still collect a credit. So I did so, and Chewy just blasted up the next week. So I think it looks like I held this till Friday and I closed it out for a penny. So ultimately I think I made $235, and that's Chewy. Alright, next up is C, Citigroup. So on the 27th, I sold the 50 put, so let's draw that out right around there. Okay, and as you can see, when it came to expiration on the Friday, it went below my strike. And believe it or not, if you look, this thing closed at 50.01. So technically, the trade could have worked, but come on. I decided not to risk it and I rolled it. And I collected 51 cents when I put on the trade, and I collected 29 cents per contract when I rolled it. So it gave me until this next week to get out. Also, I rolled it from the 50 strike down to the 49 strike, right around there. So it gave me a lot more room. And Citigroup nicely popped up for me, and even really big at the end of the week. And on this Friday, I closed it out for 1 penny per contract. So I got a total of 316 bucks. Alright, next up is Microsoft. Now this was a really good trade. It was an over the weekend trade basically, and I love those. So I saw Microsoft basing the week before really nicely, so I went in a little closer and sold the put at the 200 strike. You can see it marked out here, and I sold on this Friday. Now over the weekend it gapped up big over some good news, and pushed really high. So I actually sold this for $2.20, so $2.20 times 100, right? So 220. And I ended up buying it back for about 20 cents. So I made like a 195. Now I could have left that on and definitely bought it back for a penny, but it was really just 20 bucks. So I decided to take it off and get that buying power back. So Microsoft, killer trade. Okay, AMD, another really good trade. You can see I put this on Friday, sold the 73 puts on this one, and it basically, here came Monday, and then Tuesday, big pop. And so on Wednesday, I ended up buying it back for just 3 cents, and I made $171 on this one. So really solid trade. All right, now to my favorite trade of the past couple weeks, Etsy. So Etsy had earnings on the 5th. So what I did is I went ahead and placed a put and a call at different times during the day. When it was pushing down, I ended up placing the put at the 124 strike, and then I sold the call later when it was pushing up at the 165 strike. And I was even thinking about doing the 160 and collecting a little more money, but I was able to get 522 bucks off this pretty quick trade. Because as you can see, this is Friday, so I put it on a Wednesday. They had earnings after hours. It really wasn't that volatile for an earnings. This was really nothing compared to what you see sometimes, and it didn't even get close to my call up here. This was much closer to the put, I knew that, so I knew that was a little bit more risky. But yeah, it basically was very volatile and then had a pretty moderate green day. And that was it for Etsy, and I got to keep the money. So 522 bucks off that quick 2-day trade. I would almost call that a day trade. So am I a day trader? I don't know. All right, folks, I hope you enjoyed this recap for the last couple weeks. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, do me a favor, leave them below and I will definitely get back to you. If you like this video, I'd love if you leave me a comment as well. All right, folks, until next time.